debut album Necktie Second, coming real soon. So we're going to start with one from that. It's called Northern Bound Train. 2, 3, 4. I hurt you, Elaine. You said that you loved me as you packed your bags to go. Then you called on the phone to say that you miss me. Then why did you go away? Let it go, let it stay. I guess I know what you're saying. It gets so cold while you're away. That's why I hoped you'd be staying. But now you're leaving on a northern bound train. I know you're leaving on a northern bound train. This lonely feeling seemed to hit me the same. Since you are leaving on a northern bound train, I guess I'll dream until I see you again, or buy a ticket for myself upon a northern bound train. The further you run, the less you will leave. Then when you come back home to stay, the deeper in love, the harder to cry when she is gone away. Let it go, let it stay. I guess I know what you're saying. It gets so cold while you're away. That's why I hoped you'd be staying. But now you're leaving on a northern bound train. I know you're leaving on a northern bound train. This lonely feeling seemed to hit me the same. Since you are leaving on a northern bound train, I guess I'll dream until I see you again, or buy a ticket for myself upon a northern bound train. On a northern bound train. On a northern bound train. On a northern bound train. Thank you.
Man, keep going, Pete Droge. You guys sound great together. Please introduce this lovely lady up here singing with you.
This is Elaine Summers.
And you just met her this weekend, right?
We met her at the living room above La Luna on January 7th, 1993, when we both had recently moved to Portland.
That's fantastic. How long did you live in Portland?
About 2.5 years. A year and a half of that, I was touring extensively.
Hey, Elaine, are you a Portlander? Did you
No, I
grow up here?
moved here from Los Angeles and just looking to go somewhere different and stay on the West Coast.
Well,
And
here in Portland, we love when Californians come. We embrace you with open arms. Glad you're here. So you two, in addition to being romantically together, you write your songs together and have been doing so for 30 years. How does that work? Because a lot of couples, I can't do a project with my spouse. It's just, there's going to be an argument. Something's going to get broken and someone's going to leave crying.
I think the reason it works is because Elaine is amazingly even keel and super cool.
Let's hear it for Elaine. Come on. So congratulations on the new album. It's called Fade Away Blue. You have some copies of that back on the merch table, right? It's a fantastic album. It really is.
Thank you.
And you've mentioned in other interviews that you wrote and recorded the album while you were dealing with some health issues.
That's right, yeah.
What did it teach you about slowing down? And I know the process of the actual recording was quite different than previous albums.
Yeah, it was the whole fatigue thing. I had the 10-year anniversary in September, and I'm doing much better now. I got one foot in the fatigue zone, but generally I'm doing really, really well. But that stretch when it was really bad, really it was interesting to kind of let go of my sense of self that was attached to my work. You know, in my younger life, I was very much driven and fully kind of career mindset. And so kind of having that stripped away and kind of being in semi-retirement mode is like, okay, well, who am I if I'm not my next single or my next record or my next production gig or whatever? So it was interesting. There was a great book by Eckhart Tolle called A New Earth. That was really a big life-changing thing for me to read that book. So there was a lot of kind of letting go of that kind of stuff, and it's kind of growing up, and my Buddhist practice really had a lot to do with that. I really doubled down on meditation, and there's a lot of soul searching and looking within, but it also gave me a lot of time to write, because during the fatigue years, I could always lie on the couch and try to find a rhyme for orange all day long, so I was really able to do a lot of writing during that time, and we amassed a whole bunch of songs and then kind of, figured out which ones worked together as an album.
And I think I read that you recorded the album, you recorded your parts in your studio in Vashon Island.
That's right.
Which is a beautiful part of the world, by the way. Oh my gosh, can we come visit?
Absolutely, you're welcome anytime, Mitch.
Perfect. And the musicians, the other part was recorded in LA or
That's
somewhere
right.
else.
Yeah, I would do our tracks in my studio, the acoustic guitars and the vocals, and then we would send it down. My co-producer is a great musician and producer named Paul Bryan, who has worked with Amy Mann for many, many years and plays bass in her band and produces her albums. And then the musicians are just incredible that we assembled. So we've got Robert Plant's second favorite drummer. I'm sure you can guess who the first favorite drummer. Jay Bellerose plays drums on the album.
Wow.
Lee Pardini, who was in the band Dawes for many years and recently left to go play with Chris Stapleton. And then Rusty Anderson for Paul McCartney's band plays guitar. Gabe Witcher, who's like an all-star fiddle player, is on the record. Go home and open your albums. You'll see the name Greg Leese on several albums, Swig Pedal Steel. An accordion player from Seattle named Nova Karina Divonay on the album. And of course, am I leaving anybody out here? Elaine Summers is our co-producer, our executive producer, and co-wrote 6 of the 10 songs. And then Paul mentioned that her vocals are the secret weapon on the album, which I think is very true.
You've mentioned that songs on the album like Barbara Ann and You Called Me Kid are deeply personal because the album was written during the search for your birth mother. Is that right?
Yeah.
So does it still hit you when you play one of those songs today? Is it still very emotional for you, or is it kind of a little easier?
That's a good question. I think, part of it is you put up a little bit of a sort of emotional defense, when you're sitting in front of a bunch of people and singing a song like that. I don't really want to start crying here on this radio broadcast. So I think that's part of it, but I also think that I've healed a lot through that whole situation. At first, so basically backing up, around the time I turned 40, I decided to search for my birth mother. And I got her name I was born in Eugene, and they have open adoption records here in Oregon. So I was able to get the pre-adoption birth record, and I Googled the name and found her obituary. So she had passed just months prior.
That story is just wow.
Yeah, so that was like, if I had predicted like how heavy that was going to be, like how emotional that was going to be, I couldn't have predicted. It was like just catastrophic, like heavy duty. The silver lining was I did connect with my birth family. So my grandmother and my uncle, I was on the phone with them that very night.
Wow.
And that began this just amazing fairy tale reunion with them. And so there was a lot of healing. There was some therapy involved. I got involved in a therapy called EMDR. If people don't know about that, it's an amazing therapy for dealing with trauma. And so a lot of work went into all of that. And so I think at this point, I don't have that sort of heart-wrenching sadness around the situation with my birth mother. I feel like everything is kind of as it should be. I was able to learn a lot about her life. There's a song on the record called Gypsy Rose. It's sort of a story song. Thank you.
Yeah.
They kind of, I was able to put this together from what I learned from her friends and family. So I think at this point, I'm not gonna break out crying when I play Lonely Mama.
Well, if it comes, just let those tears roll out.
We're in a safe space, right?
Very safe. Safe space, right, folks?
Yeah.
Pete and Elaine, thanks for being here, you two.
All right. We're gonna play. This is one from the record. This is a period piece. You'll know it because we mentioned something called a payphone. This takes place in about 1995. when we were out touring behind the Necktie Second record. Did I mention that the Necktie Second record has a double deluxe vinyl LP reissue? I don't know if I mentioned that. Anyway, this is called Fading Fast. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulling out of Omaha, riding on the bookmobile, fingers on an old guitar, trying to find a feel. Lord, I just can't sleep tonight, not when we're moving this fast, trying to occupy my mind, watching the cornfields pass. Oh, it's plain to see what's in front of me. Though I know it's real, I'm never gonna feel it all the way. It's always time to go. Another town, another show, waiting down this dark, empty road, out where nothing lasts. Everything is fading fast. Spent the night in Chi-Town, drinking with intemperate sons. Every time my glass was down, they said, bring 'em another one. Somebody wanted my autograph as I stumbled from the hotel bar. Man, all I could do was laugh and wonder how'd I get this far. Though it's plain to see what's in front of me, though I know it's real, I'm never gonna feel it all the way. It's always time to go. Another town, another show, waiting down this dark, empty road, out where nothing lasts. Everything is fading fast. All the songs I never play, all the words I never say, I just can't stand to say goodbye, so I'll see you down the line. Standing at the truck stop, shivering at the payphone wall. My manager says that my single's been dropped and my sales are beginning to stall. Want me to do more interviews? I say please, my voice is shot. I'm trying to save it for the show tonight, 'cause that's the only thrill I got. Though it's plain to see what's in front of me, though I know it's real, I'm never gonna feel it all the way. It's always time to go. Another town, another show, waiting down this dark, empty road, out where nothing lasts. Everything is fading fast. Everything is fading fast. Everything is fading fast. Hiya. Elaine's gonna take a little break. All right. Well, I mentioned the story there about missing meeting my birth mother, Barbara Ann Thomas. This is one of two songs on the album that speaks to that. It's something called ambiguous grief that I learned about. It's called Lonely Mama. Lonely mama, how I wish I could have known you. Lonely mama, how I wish I could have known you. We'd be twirling around in the summer sun, freak flags flown high to scarlet begonias. Lonely mama, still it makes me cry. Lonely mama, still it makes me cry. Never knowing if you held me before you said goodbye. Once upon a time, in a fairy tale, a mother and child reunion. Could nothing ever be as heavenly a dream? I've had it many times. I've had it many times. This dream. Lonely mama, I sing this one for you. Lonely mama, I sing this one for you. Nothing more than a simple cowboy tune. I'm afraid that's about the best that I can do. Lonely mama, I play it to the end. Lonely mama, play it to the end. The verse where I believe in heaven above, and you and I will be reunited. The verse where I believe in heaven above, and you and I will be. You and I will be reunited. Thank you. Let's welcome Elaine Summers back to the stage. I just noticed something. We're playing this, so I just realized we have a 7-inch single that we released last year, and that was the A side, and we're following it today with the B side. I didn't even plan it that way. So yeah, that Lonely Mama with the full band version is on the 7-inch, and then it's also on the new album Fade Away Blue. And then this next song, Skeleton Crew, I'm going to drop a name. And I'm just going to tell you, we have a little game that we play. I have a friend, he's like a 3-time Grammy loser, mega platinum rock star type guy. And he says, I'm fame-ish. He says, I'm not really famous. And when we get together with our other fame-ish music friends around the fire pit on Vashon Island, names will be dropped. And eventually we came up with this whole racket where when somebody drops a name, you say, good for you. So I'm about to drop a name, and you can say, good for you. So anyway, I did a sort of an acoustic version of this next song, and we released it to raise money in March of 2020 for a local nonprofit on Vashon Island called Vashon Youth and Family Services. And so this was kind of like the acoustic demo, and I sent it around to some friends, and among those friends was Pearl Jam guitarist Mike McCready.
Good for you!
And Mike really dug it, and he said, and he's got a little record company called Hockey Talkter Records.
And so he said, let's put it out on a 7-inch single, and it took me years to figure out what to put on the other side. So anyway, this is well, you'll hear sort of the acoustic version, and I mentioned the all-star band on the album, on the new album, Fade Away Blue. There's the fully realized version with all those great players on it. This is called Skeleton Crew. In the morning when you wake me, and the sky is silver gray, in my mind appears a whisper of a prayer, saying everything will be okay. We'll get through this thing together. You lean on me and I'll lean on you. Know that nothing lasts forever and ever. It's just something that we're gonna get through. Nobody else coming to the rescue. It's something that we're gonna get through together. Skeleton crew. Ooh, working on skeleton crew. Ooh, working on skeleton crew. We don't talk too much about it. We know that words can just add to the confusion. Roll up your sleeves, 'cause now it's down to you and me. And we're doing what we have to do. We walk the line a good bit thinner than we'd like, with nothing more than we can use. We know this ain't what's gonna make us or break us. It's just something that we're gonna get through. Nobody else coming to the rescue. It's something that we're gonna get through together. Skeleton crew. Ooh, working on skeleton crew. Ooh, working on skeleton crew. Thank you. It's really nice to be back in Portland. We have 4 gigs in 6 days. We did the Oregon Music Hall of Fame at the Aladdin on, what was that, Saturday night? Yep. That was an honor to be a part of that, helping to raise money for a music program for kids. And yesterday we did the Music Millennium in-store, and then today, and then Thursday night we'll be at the Alberta Rose Theater for the taping of Livewire. So it's really nice to be spending some time in the Rose City. We're going to leave you with this one. This is the single, the radio single from Fade Away Blue. And I'm happy to say on the CDX AAA radio chart, we cracked the top 70. Not bad for a little independent record, I'll say. Anyway, this is the other side, the flip side of the adoption coin. This is a song that I wrote for my folks. I was very, very blessed to be adopted by Jan and Arnie Droge. And this is a song of love and appreciation for them. It's called You Called Me Kid. about. But then you saw me just as I was, a child in a daydream, trying to catch your slipstream. You called me kid, and I can't thank you enough for what you did. You called me kid. Never in this life could anybody find a more generous or precious gift to give. I got this picture of us on the beach, holding my hand in the by reach. We're running fast away from a wave that may be trying to chase us, but we got smiles on our faces. You called me kid, and I can't thank you enough for what you did. You called me kid. Never in this life could anybody find a more generous or precious gift to give. Well, in my mind you got my headphones on, watching you move to my song. You close your eyes and smile and say, kid, this is a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. You called me kid, and I can't thank you enough for what you did. You called me kid. Never in this life could anybody find a more generous or precious gift to give. Knock yourself out, kid. Knock yourself out. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, people going to see Droge. And of course, Elaine. Thanks, Elaine. Appreciate you guys being here. What a treat. You sound fantastic. The new album's called Fade Away Blue, and you can pick up a copy for yourself in the merch table in the back. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for listening to Kink. We appreciate you.